King Henry died while drinking chocolate milk. This is a way that you can remember how we do unit conversions. And the king stands for kilo, the H stands for hecto. Deca can be both D-A-K-A or D-E-C-A, is going to be for the 10 units. Think about how long is a decade? 10 years, right? Okay. Base is, I know while doesn't really work for base, but it's whatever unit I'm working with. In this case, I'm working with dollars. I could be working with millimeters. It doesn't matter. Or in that case, it would just be meters, not milli. Deci is going to stand for a tenth of that unit. Centi is going to be a 100th. Think of a century, 100 years, right? And milli is going to be 1,000th. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of different monies here, right? Okay, they all equal the same thing basically. Well, they don't, but kind of. So what I'm trying to show you that is if I have, for example, 100 pennies, right? Centi, 100 pennies. That is the same as having 10 dimes or the same as having a single dollar. Now, do I want to carry around 100 pennies all the time when I need to spend $1? No, that would get kind of annoying. If I have a $10 bill, right, and I have either a choice of having a $10 bill or 10 singles, right, they're both equal the same amount of money, but do I want to carry around 10 singles and look like I work at a restaurant or wherever else you would get a lot of singles from? So usually we want to have higher bills because it makes it easier to carry around, right? But smaller bills are easier to break and to use for smaller amounts. Now, I don't have a $100 bill, teacher money, y'all. But what if I had, this is real, this is so real, $100. And now we gotta say it right, dollars, right? I can have a $100 bill, y'all, or I could have 10 tens, or I can have 100 ones, or I can have, oh my God, how many is this? 10 times that. Oh, don't make me do math right now. Okay, so what did I say? 100? So this would be like 1,000, right? And keep going. So obviously I would prefer to have the $100 bill, but I don't have $100 bills. So this is what I'm working with. Same thing with meters, right? So right now I have an entire yardstick here, right? And it's going to be 1 meter, which is equivalent to 10 centimeters or 100 millimeters. So each of these lines is representing a millimeter, and then combined that's going to be equaling 10 centimeters. So this is, the bigger lines are the centimeters, the little tiny lines are the millimeters. Obviously time and a place, right? If I'm measuring my height, I want to use a bigger unit because I'm pretty tall. But if I'm trying to measure the size of like this penny, I'm probably going to be using a very small unit to be able to do that. So let's do some example problems. I usually recommend that you write out your unit conversion up at the top so you know how to change your units when you're switching between any of these. I also recommend that you kind of highlight or circle when you're switching between units so that you know which units you're going to. I recommend the simple way of moving decimal points. There are other ways of doing this. You do that if you want to do that, but I'm going to show you the easiest way to do unit conversions. So for example, let's say I have 100 grams. Grams does not have a prefix, so that means it's going to be one of the base units. If I want to go from 100 grams, and let's say I want to go to kilograms, right? That tells me that I'm going to be moving my decimal point over 1, 2, 3 spots to the left. So right now my decimal point is actually right here next to the 100. I move it over 1, 2, 3. And that tells me that 100 grams is equal to 0.1 kilograms. Okay, does that make sense? Now, let's say I take this 100 grams and let's say I want to go to centigrams, right? So I'm still working with this base unit of 100 grams. Get rid of those decimal points. And so now I'm going to be moving it over 1, 2 spots to the right. So if my decimal point is here, I'm going to go over 1, 2. So now I'm going to have 100 plus 2 more zeros. And then I'm going to add a comma because that confuses me. Centigrams. So 100 grams is equal to 10,000 centigrams. Let's get a little bit more complicated. Okay, so we're going to go over how to solve these three problems. If I have 50.1 decagrams, right, and I want to go to milligrams, I have deca and I want to go to milli, I'm going to bring my decimal point over 1, 2, 3, 4 spots to the right. Right now it's here, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means it's going to be equal to 51, 1, 2, 3 milligrams. So 501,000 milligrams is equal to 50.1 decagrams. Obviously, if I'm working with 501,000 milligrams, I'm going to probably prefer to work with the 50.1 decagrams just because bigger units, less to deal with, right? Better. Now, if I were to do the second example and move in decimal points, if I have centimeters and I want to go to hectometers, I'm going to go from centi to hecto. I'm going to bring it over 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. My decimal point is right here. So I'm going from a small unit to a big unit with a small amount, right? I'm literally bringing a small amount, actually one of these, right? And trying to get it into a huge unit. So this is going to be really, really, really tiny number. So I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. 0, 0, 0. So now I'm going to have 0.0000001 hectometers. It's ridiculous, right? So it's a very tiny unit in hectometers. That's why it's probably easier to work with centigrams or centimeters, and millimeters would actually be even easier because it would be 0.1 millimeters. Let's do one more. I literally just made these up on the spot, so I don't even know if they're good numbers or not. This was a 9. 9.12 deci. Notice that deca had the DA, right? But deci has just the single lowercase d. Deciliters to kiloliters. Okay, so I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4 spots to the left. My decimal spot is here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So now I'm going to have 0.0000912 kiloliters. Okay, so hopefully that kind of helped give you a quick overview on how to do unit conversion, and let me know if you have any other better ways of doing this.